Man, what is up, guys? What is going on? How are y'all doing today? It's your boy Dave. It's me, the Roof Poppy, your favorite roofer's favorite roofer, CEO and HMFIC. Here, actually, I'm like the assistant head motherfucker in charge at A5 Roofing. If I'm gonna be dead ass honest with you, my wife's a pretty stellar boss, man. I'm actually very, very, very honored to have her in the corner pocket. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that's a hell of a team I've got, hell of a team I've developed with my wife here, and I feel like we're absolutely unstoppable, man. So I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, today what we're going to talk about, we're going to wrap real quick because I had a pretty solid week out in the field with the guys. Right? It has actually been a really stellar last 3 weeks, and the end of November and early December. We've set a very good pace for the end of December. It's going to be hard for us to keep up with this in January. Um, but I'm thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly impressed and humbled by the effort and the ability that my team's been out here producing this week. And so after kicking ass for a specific number of days out in the field, we finally this evening we got these badass little hoodies in. They're like hot as shit, fleece, man, they're pretty fresh. I love them. But we were passing them out this evening at our office here in San Antonio. Had some of our guys stop by, and we had an opportunity to stand in a circle and to talk about the week's events, to talk about the day's events. And we had one of our youngest guys there. Shout out Victor Pena if you're listening, brother. Absolutely stoked about having you on the team. We got into a conversation about personal development and high achieving sales individuals and kind of the dynamic that exists between the two. Now, my guy Victor has been following people in Arte. He's been following people in Apex. He's been following different people on social media and YouTube and things like that. So he understands what we're talking about. But I think for the first time in this guy's life, he has an opportunity to see leadership and in the position in a company where people actually give a fuck about the human beings that are working with them. And it is very refreshing for this guy. So refreshing that he approached me after the meeting and was like, brother, hey, listen, I made plans for Christmas and I know the team's out here crushing it. So, bro, listen, if I got to call and cancel my Christmas plans, like we don't have to go to this place over here. And I'm like, nah, man, hey, dude, first and foremost, brother, feed your soul. That's spend time with your family, do your thing. I'm all for that, dude. But the fact that this dude was like on day 3, he's like, I'm fucking bought in, bro. Like, this is awesome. We're building a hellified company culture here. But having the opportunity to impart that in somebody's lives is super, super, super critical for you business owners, you sales managers, you people that are in big levels of leadership and whatnot. I really, really, really want to encourage you to try and impart the best fucking principles possible in the people below you, because you're going to create phenomenal human beings. You're going to impact a lot of lives, and you're going to create very, very, very valuable intrapreneurs and entrepreneurs in your organization. So at the end of our conversation today, after we were done kicking ass and taking names, we stood in a circle in the parking lot, and we had this round table kind of a conversation going on. And I noticed that there were a couple of things we were hitting on, and it was kind of the things that Victor had learned throughout the last couple of days that were kind of standing out to him. And I created a list. I was driving home. I started thinking about that, and I even texted my boy Garrett and said, dude, that was a fire ass day in the field today, bro. Crushed. He agreed. So I came up with 5 things that stood out to us from the last 3 weeks activity, from the last week especially. 5 things that stood out to us the most, and I want to share with them to you today. Number 1, write shit down. Have the ability. I listened to a conversation, Ed Milet, and I told this in the meeting this morning. Somebody showed up to me and they didn't have something to write with, and they didn't have something to write on. And so I shared with them the story. Ed said, if you get to a table, he got to a table and there was all these business people at the table, and he showed up and everybody had something to write with and everybody had something to write on. And it was fucking impactful for him. And he looked around and he saw these people like Warren Buffett carries a little notepad. Are you shitting me? Writes things down. So get into the habit of writing things down. You never know when a great idea is going to spring upon you. And I don't know if you're like me, you think, hey, I have a smartphone, I can manage this shit. No, listen, player, write it down on a piece of paper. If you put ink to paper, you will put shit into the universe. In the front cover, so we give everybody this morning, we give everybody new notebooks. Boom, A5 roofing notebooks. Bam, bam, bam. All the project managers have them, and I tell them to write it down. This morning, I had them open their front cover and start writing in the front cover of their book a couple of specific goals. Number one, income goal for the next year, 365 days. Income goal. How many individual lives they wanted to impact on an intimate person to person basis. That's number two. Number three was the relationship they were going to repair is with what? Fill in the blank. So on and so forth. What are you going to work on? What are you going to repair? Man, you'd be surprised what some of my guys told me. I had a guy tell me he was going to repair his relationship with Christ. And bro, yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. Go for that. I had another guy tell me he was going to repair his relationship with himself. That's fucking powerful, man. That's powerful, but write it down. We had to put these things on paper to put them into the universe. And now we have a written record of it. We can hold ourselves accountable. Write shit down. Number two, develop discipline in anything. In anything that you do, whatever it is that you do. C.T. Fletcher once said, I don't care if you're a grass cut, what do you say, a lawn mowing motherfucker, you better be the best lawn mowing motherfucker there is. I don't care if you're a fry cook, you be the best fucking fry cook there is. He said, if you park cars for a living, you better be the best parked car and motherfucker on earth. And that's true. And here's how you do that, guys. A lot of people tell you that, but you develop discipline. You set that, you make the intentional decision to do some shit, whether you like it or not. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is for you. I'm gonna be real with you. Start off somewhere. Set up certain times of every day that you refuse to do anything else but this specific activity and be intentional with it. Make that shit happen. Don't fucking play around with it and set goals that you are not trying to achieve. Be real with shit. Excuse me. It's going to be a late night for me, so I'm sipping on a little bit of coffee. Develop discipline in everything. And I told Victor, we started talking about discipline. He's like, I see all these people, Ryan Stewman, and you got notes in your notebook there from Adam Lyons. I know who that is. And da 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 da. Like, this guy follows this stuff. And I said, you know what they all have in common? He said, what? And I said, a high level of personal development, super high level of personal development. You will not, let me rephrase that. You can be successful and wealthy without personal development. You cannot achieve the level of success that you are supposed to achieve in life without a high degree of personal development. It is for you, but you have to fucking earn it. Plain and simple. It is for you, but you have to earn it. You have to put in the sweat equity. You have to change some shit about your life. You have to deal with some fucking things, and you have to develop discipline. Andy was talking on a podcast this evening. Andy Frisella on his Real AF podcast, he was talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger saying that the first 6 weeks are the hardest to lose any fat in a bodybuilding series, in a cycle or a cutting series or whatever it is you're doing. The first 6 weeks of exercise are the hardest because that's when you lose the less, but the actual weight really starts to come off on week 7, 8, 9, and 10, and 11, like in that second phase. And then after 12 weeks, it becomes a lifestyle. So it takes time to develop discipline, but you must fucking develop discipline in something. I don't care what it is. I do not care what it is. Start working on those skill sets. Number three, set time limits for your goals. I know in about 2 weeks, we're going to start seeing 2023, new year, new me. Nothing's fucking just because you think because the clock changes, because the date changes on the wall, you think all of a sudden it's a new year, new you. Is that how you think this shit works? I promise you, I go to sleep on December 31st. I'm going to wake the fuck up on January 1st in next year, and I will be the same David Taggart I was when I fell asleep. I promise you that. Hands down. Promise you that. It's gonna fucking happen. So set time limits for your goals. Don't just say, oh, I got a year to accomplish this goal. Fuck no. Write it down. Put yourself in a position where you have a deadline and you have to hold yourself accountable. If you want to win, if you want to be successful, if you want to fucking do what you are supposed to do, what you were born to do, what the creator designed you to do, which is far further than what you think you can do, just FYI, if you want to live up to that, set time limits for your goals. Make yourself do the work. Tell yourself when it's over. The competition is fucking over on this day. I told all my sales guys for these goals for the next year to write down, my project managers too, to write down underneath those goals I only have 364 more chances in all of those goals. I only have 364 more fucking shots at this. That's it. Next year, it doesn't fucking matter. 364 chances is what I have to accomplish my big goals, to impact the lives that I said I was going to impact. Now we can develop a plan for it. Number 4, be the example. Man, I spent the last 2 weeks knocking doors every day with my team, holding their ladders, bringing them chalk, helping them do inspections on roofs, out in the field, fucking grinding it out with these guys, man, for 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day, out beating fucking doors. And it was awesome. It was an awesome experience, and I am honored to have the ability to work hand in hand with such a solid group of guys, men and women. Absolutely honored to have the opportunity to do that. And it really puts me in a position where I want to set the right example. It puts me in a position where I have to kind of think about the things that I'm doing and what example it's setting for the people that are underneath me, the people that are a part of my team, because I'm responsible for their success. And it forces me in a way to become a better leader, to become a better example of dedication, of putting the time in to do steps 1 through 4 repetitively over and over and over, and what it looks like to be tenacious. And Garrett even said in our little after action review, he said, he was pointing at me, he goes, this guy can be a lot. Like, he can be a lot. He wasn't lying. I'm branded the fuck up, homie. I know you saw that. Anyways, he's not lying. I can be a lot to handle sometimes. But what he also said was, but this is what you get. Like, he said, he spews this stuff. He was talking about personal development. He was like, my boy here spews this stuff about motivation, da 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 da. And I just said, I see the example of the people that are winning on the level that I want to win at. And I see what they're doing with their time and with their intention and with their lives. And that's what I fucking want. And they live and they breathe excellence and kicking ass and winning. I can fucking do that. I'm good with that. I sign me up for a life full of that shit. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want. That's what God created me for. I don't know what God created you guys for, but God created me to be the goddamn best example of fucking winning that I can possibly be for myself, for my family, for my children, for the people around me, the people that wake up every day and put my shirt on, that come to work. It is my obligation to do everything I can to be the best fucking example for them that I can be. Let me show you the blueprint, and let's fucking win. Number 5, become a mentor. Take responsibility for somebody else in something. I don't care if it's sports. I don't care if it's baseball. I said this the other day on a podcast. If you want to really put some pressure on you to perform, take responsibility for the lives of other people. Become a mentor. Make it your job to try and teach them how to do something better than you fucking do it. Take responsibility and become a mentor. Try your hardest to teach other people and to pour into them the shit that was not poured into you. If you're like me, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're young and you know you grew up rough and you had problems in the streets and school and da da da, and I was always getting suspended in middle school and fucking fights all the time, and you know what I mean. I just man, I didn't really have a good home life growing up. You know what I mean. My parents got divorced when I was 3. There was fucking domestic violence all over the place, alcoholism, shit like that. If you're from where I'm from, you know what the fuck I'm talking about now. You know what was not given to you. You know the kind of shit that was not poured into your life. You know what's missing. And when you see this and when you can identify this in other people, it is your obligation to become a mentor and to pour those skill sets that you've learned back into other people. That is your obligation, to leave this world better than you found it. To leave the lives of other people around you better than you found them. So again, the 5 things that we learned this motherfucking week: write shit down, develop discipline in anything, set time limits for your goals, become an example, be the example, and become a mentor. If you can do those 5 things, you could probably develop pretty solid culture in your company. You could probably do a lot of great things to impact a lot of people's lives. And I think that you might find out, if you're a business owner, pouring into your people, into your team, into your employees, your business relationships, your contracts. Imagine if you took all those principles and applied them in your marriage, how many more happy households we'd have. Pretty happy husbands. You know what I'm saying? You could apply that shit into your marriage. You can really apply this in any part of your life. I hope that you do. And now I'm rambling on. So that means it's time for me to get to work and start cranking out these estimates. Again, thanks for being a part of this show tonight. I definitely appreciate the love and support. Shout out to my guys checking in, Brandon, Robert, some of you guys down here, Austin Montgomery. Appreciate y'all support, man. Don't have any new updates for you for the show. We're trying to stay as regular as we can to the 7, 8 o'clock lives on Tuesday. We're going to make these different episodes available to you guys on YouTube and Facebook and our Instagram and stuff. So again, for A5 Roofing, man, I am your favorite roofer's favorite roofer. I'm Dave Taggart, the motherfucking Roof Poppy, MF CEO of A5 Roofing and Roofing Underground. We'll see you later.